Very good morning and good afternoon to all the starwoods, all the industry captains, researchers, scholars, to the third day of valedictory function of IEEE Conference on Computation, Automation, and Knowledge Management. I would request everybody to rise for the national anthem. Please rise. Thank you, everybody. Please be seated. I welcome each one of you here to this valedictory function of our third international conference on computation, automation, and knowledge management, ICC AKM 2022. This three-day conference from 15th to 17th November 2022 was organized with the prime objective to bring together researchers, scholars, practicing scientists, and industrialists from across the world, and also from wide spectrum of engineering and management domains onto a common platform to bring the outcomes for strengthening the industry-academia bond and enhance collaborative and meaningful research on issues of current relevance. It deliberated delegations of emerging technologies through presentations and paper presentation on research themes, provided network opportunities to delegate on the hybrid mode, expert talk by domain expert of global eminence through interactive webinars for the panoramic overview of advanced theories of automation and knowledge management. It recognized the eminent global achievers for their remarkable achievement and contribution in their respective domains by instituting suitable amity, excellence, cooperations. It was not possible without the blessings of our founder president, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, by our chancellor, Dr. Atul Chauhan, the leadership and astute guidance by Professor Dr. Gurinder Singh. So here we come to welcome our founder president, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, the pillar of this great institute, who has given us everything. I would request Dr. Chauhan to welcome Dr. Ashok Chauhan. Over to you, Marut. Thank you, Marut, for this wonderful presentation. And now it's time to welcome for the opening remark, Dr. Faisal Malik, Pro Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Dubai, who is a strong believer in technology-enabled learning and innovative practice. Dr. Faisal is passionate about lifelong learning. His illustrious career has seen him create bridges between theory and practice and between academia and industry. A very renowned academician, a great journalist, and a wonderful leader. It's time to invite him for his welcome address for this valedictory session on today's theme. Over to you, Faisal sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. And on behalf of our founder president, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, Chancellor Dr. Atul Chauhan, Group Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Dr. Gurinder Singh, CEO, Amity Middle East, Dr. Wajahat Hussain, I welcome all distinguished guests, scholars, practitioners, scientists to this valedictory session of the third IEEE International Conference on Computation, Automation, and Knowledge Management. What a wonderful discourse of sharing knowledge, sharing research we have seen over the last 3 days. This international discourse has opened so many opportunities that research can offer towards the acceleration and towards the progress of engaging with the awe-inspiring challenges we face today and the colossal opportunities we have in today's knowledge economy across the world. There are so many outcomes of this conference, which, with the blessings of our founder president and chancellor, and under the guidance of our group vice chancellor, Professor Gurinder Singh, we would like to see applied across the world. We are quite proud here in Dubai to be in a context where knowledge and application of knowledge is being used on a day-to-day basis to make life of all residents and citizens of this country more convenient and at ease. We have seen unprecedented opportunities being discussed and being promoted and projected during this conference, which provide better solutions, better insights, and better responses to the challenges we face in the 21st century. With these remarks, I once again welcome all our distinguished guests who are across the world at the moment, and while the proceedings of this conference are being streamed across the globe, I welcome you once again from Amity University, Dubai, to the valedictory session of this conference. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Faisal, for these warm welcome address and a very inspiring note about the conference. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to invite the senator of Amity, the brain behind all these conferences and the man who has been instrumental in setting up Amity campuses, India and overseas. Let me just take you through the brief profile of our Group Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Gurinder Singh Sir, who is the Group Vice Chancellor of Amity Universities and Institutions. He is also the Director General of the International Business School at Noida and Vice Chairman, Global Foundation for Learning and Excellence. He has an extensive experience of more than 2.5 decades in institutional building, teaching, consultancy, and research. He has spoken at various international forums, which includes the prestigious $1 Million Roundtable Conference at the Harvard Business School, Thunderbird Business School, the New York University, Loughborough Business School, and many more other leading schools across the globe. Dr. Singh has also received more than 30 international and national awards and has graced a host of talk shows and various TV channels. He is a mesmerizing orator and has the rare ability of touching the human soul. Internationally recognized, known professor in the area of management, he is a top-class trainer, a distinguished academician, and international business expert. More so, he is also known as the champion of human hearts. So it is my humble request to Group Vice Chancellor, sir, to please give the valedictory address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Marut. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all the participants from across the world, from wherever you are. It's my privilege to welcome each one of you on behalf of our very respected founder president, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, who has created a new revolution in the field of education. And on behalf of our honorable chancellor, Dr. Atul Chauhan, on behalf of Dubai campus, where I can see very able leader of our Dubai campus, Dr. Wajhat and Dr. Faisal Malik, along with Professor Anand Kumar, sitting in this conference, along with my very distinguished colleagues who are here. Welcome each one of you. When I see here the galaxy of speakers, I want to thank each one of you for your most significant contribution. I can see our guest of honor, Mr. Jay Shankar, who is the Managing Director and Chairman of IIFCL. What a privilege to welcome you, Mr. Jay Shankar. I know that how busy you were, but you thought that you need to come for this conference. And only last evening when we were discussing and you were about to take a flight, you said, surely I will work and I will like to contribute for this conference, which is based on innovation, which is based on research, and where we are concentrating to create a new center for climate change and green technology, about which I'm going to speak a bit later. I can see Professor Mohan Agarwal, a great friend of ours, a man who is very well respected in the field of academics, the one who has given more than 35 years in the field of education, and who is also the president of Indo-Gulf Management Association. We requested Professor Mohan Agarwal, who's so ably leading the Indo-Gulf Management Association, to be associated with this conference. And he very ably and so dynamically and vibrantly not only helped us in organizing this conference, but brought some of the leading speakers. Thank you so very much, Professor Mohan Agarwal. We always say that you are not only a champion of heart at Dubai, but you have equal respect in the Indian academics also. I can see Mr. Richard Reiki, whom we have met a number of times, who have been to MIT, one of the most respected figures in the industry, board member of KPMG Gulf in Dubai. He is the former CEO of KPMG India and was a member of the Global Board and Council of KPMG International. A very well-qualified chartered accountant with more than 39 years of experience in consulting and professional services. The whole world knows Professor Mr. Richard Reiki as one of the authorities in the field of management. And we feel so lucky to inform all those who are present that more than 100 students from MIT institutions worldwide, they are working with KPMG in the various parts of the world. I can also see on the screen Dr. Raghavan Sitaraman, one of the most respected professionals in the field of finance, a former chief executive officer of Doha Bank, and also known as one of the leading researchers. I will say that there are very few people in the world who have got a combination of being at the helm of the affairs in the field of finance, banking, and also have equal interest in research. Dr. Raghavan, we are today also working on sustainability and on green technology. And today, when Mr. Jay Shankar will be making some announcements, we also want to inform the audience that the PhD of Professor Raghavan is in the area of banking and sustainability. We welcome you. We can also see the presence of some of the very prominent persons from academia, including Mr. Richard Reiki, who will be joining a bit later. But Mr. Richard is presently a board is a board member and a chief academic zone officer at Ras Al Khaimah Economic Zone, and has played a very important role in opening up the various campuses and universities in Middle East. My very own vice chancellors from various MIT universities, our deans, our directors, my very able friend, Dr. Abhi Bansal, who is leading our engineering initiatives at MIT University in Noida, our research team from MIT International Business School, who has worked day and night for this conference, the research team of Dubai, who has truly worked, researchers from across the globe. I have been told that the researchers from 43 countries, including some of the prominent names from US, UK, New Zealand, Australia, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, all of them, they are here. Very warm welcome to each one of you.
Honorable Group Vice Chancellor, sir, Founder President has also joined.
A very warm welcome to our respected Founder President. MIT is a brainchild of our respected Founder President, who, after spending long years in Europe, came to India with one mission, with one aim, that he has to create education institutions which can make a difference in the world. And his mandate was very clear, that we should be able to create institutions which should be able to give wonderful career to the students, but at the same time, they should be able to bring a change in the society. They should be able to build the community. They should be able to build the economies of the world. And that is the reason that when we established 11 universities in India, in Noida, in Gurugram, in Greater Noida, in Lucknow, in Jaipur, in Mumbai, Gwalior, Kolkata, Raipur, Ranchi, Patna, Mohali, and Bengaluru, and our overseas universities and campuses in London, in Singapore, our 175 acres campus in New York, our world-class university in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, Mauritius, South Africa, Kenya, China, Amsterdam, San Francisco, and Tashkent, and our new universities, which are coming up in Canada, in Melbourne, in France, and in Russia. The mandate was very clear that we should be able to create a platform which should be able to bring researchers from across the globe and the students from across the globe together to build something which is amazing. Today, when I'm speaking from here, I share the passion of our founder. And three very important incidents happened in the last 3 days. First incident, and I will narrate, yesterday we were at the British Consul. And in the British Consul, we were there because the CEO of the British Consul, Mr. Stephen, was there to make his visit and to welcome Miss Allison, who has just joined as the director of the British Consul. There were 15 vice chancellors who were invited from India, and we got our privilege to share our views. And while we were giving our presentation, after our presentation, Mr. Scott McDonald, who's the new CEO of the British Consul and is taking up the worldwide operations, stood up and said that we feel so proud to share with all of you that MIT has got the largest number of partnerships in UK. And he quoted, and I speak, that we feel so happy to share with you that MIT has not only sent the highest number of students from India to UK, but has been able to create a very good network of universities. And he quoted UCL, LSE, Brunel, Queen Mary University of London, University of Birmingham, Edinburgh, Coventry, Plymouth, Northampton, Sussex, and many more today have got an association with MIT. And we have got our own university in London. And we felt not only happy but proud, but we felt humbled that we have been able to bring some of the top brands of UK, not only to India, but to all parts of the world where we have got the campuses. The vision of our founder and Honorable Chancellor was very clear that wherever we open the campuses, whether it's London or it's Singapore or it's Mauritius or it's New York or Dubai, Abu Dhabi, San Francisco, Tashkent, Russia, Melbourne, we should not only teach, but we should ensure that we organize such conferences which can bring industry, academia, students, and researchers together on a common platform. And that is the reason that we collaborated with some of the top brains and brands like IEEE and brought them to the various parts of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, we became the first university from Asia which organized the first ever IEEE conference in London. And now it's an annual affair. For the last 5 years, we are doing it. Similarly, we brought IEEE to Dubai. And this is for the third time we are organizing our IEEE conference on computation and on automation and on knowledge management today in Dubai. Similarly, we brought some of the leading institutions and research organizations to Singapore. We organized an conference at Harvard. We organized a conference at our Long Island conference. We organized a similar research conference in South Africa. We organized similar research conference in Tashkent just 2 weeks back. An idea of founder president was very clear that we should be able to make a difference. We should be able to innovate. We should be able to do research which is most meaningful research. And research, it should not be an academic research only. We should be able to link it with the industry. And today, when I'm speaking here, I'm so happy that Mr. Jay Shankar, who is not only a leader in the financial sector, but has contributed so significantly in the area of climate change and green technology, that together as one of the outcomes of this conference, we are jointly with the IIFCL and with MIT Group taking a step in creating a center for the climate change and green technology management, and will be the first one in the India and perhaps in the Asia, which will be offering our doctorate programs, our postgraduate programs, and our undergrad programs in the same area. Give a huge applause to Mr. Jay Shankar. Mr. Jay Shankar, we will be extremely grateful to you for supporting this center, not only financially, but also helping us to create a curriculum which will be very well accepted. But this is the mission of our founder. This is the mission of our Honorable Chancellor. 7 years back, when we started up AI, data analytics, machine learning, BI, and created the programs which were the hybrid programs, which we were offering not only in our engineering domain, but also in the management domain. People were asking questions that how we are going to implement it. And we became the first business school, the first university, which were offering these programs, not only confining themselves to the technology area, but also relating it with the management field. And today, this is a testimony. Similarly, our founder innovated and gave certain new programs which today many institutions are offering. But in 1998, we became the first university of the world which started up the program called Three Continent Program, where first part of the program was in India, second part of the program was in London, third part of the program was in US, and now we are offering this program in Toronto, in Singapore, and in Australia also. Similarly, we became the first university of Asia which started not only filing patents, we today file the highest patents in India, but the mandate was that we should be able to commercialize our technology. And last year, when the Commerce and Industry Minister gave the award to our founder by saying that you are the university which has commercialized the maximum number of technology and patents, we felt happy that we have been able to make a difference in the society by doing the commercial research. Yesterday, when we were organizing the alumni meet, we were so happy when we had number of our alumni who spoke from Middle East. And I quote one of the chief operating officers, Praveen Deswal. It is on YouTube, it is on record. And when Praveen came here, he said that I joined MIT in year 2007. And when I joined MIT, I was from a village, not from a city. I didn't know how to speak even. I didn't know how to communicate in English. MIT not only gave me communication skills, MIT gave me dream. Today, Praveen works as a chief operating officer and is one of the most thought of professionals in Dubai. And he gave very emotional statement. He said that my father sold a small land. At that time, it was costing 10 lakhs, rupees 10 lakhs. And today, someone was telling me that if we sell this land, it will be costing somewhere about 2.5 crores. And my father jokingly, someone told that, look, your father would have been a crorepati if he would have not financed your education. And he said that my father very proudly looked at me and he told that my son can write a check of 2.5 crore rupees every month if he wants. That is a kind of salary he was drawing. And he was so proud when he said that I am doing it. Why I'm telling you this? Not to boost that our students are doing so well, but this was a dream of our founder, that we should not only teach, we should make career. We should be able to make a difference in the personality. When we started MIT, there was a huge difference in Africa, in Asia, in Middle East. People were not being treated equal to those who are coming from Ivy Leagues. And dream of founder was that we should be able to create many Ivy Leagues. We should be able to create many universities, research-driven institution, which can make a difference in the life of our students, which can give them equal opportunities. And when the students like Praveen come and speak that they are earning crores of rupees a month, not as salary, but also the kind of reputation they're enjoying abroad, it makes us proud. Manjot Sandhu came and he said that today, if I am the head of the Z Entertainment Enterprises in Dubai, it is because of the education I have got at MIT. Sim was the story of Diwakar Sachdeva, again a student from Ambala who shared his story. And why I'm quoting you? Because not one, two, tens and hundreds of students who were present, who talked about their stories of struggle and stories of success, gave the example of our founder, that gave the example of the kind of education they have got and how they have been successful. I know that there are a large number of students from across the globe, from various campuses, and there are a large number of researchers who are present here and who are listening. And this is my message to them, that if you really want education to be successful, make it the most innovative education model. The third incident happened was that a day before, University of Auckland came. And one of our very close friends, Professor Eric Lathander, who was earlier the Deputy Vice Chancellor of ANU, Australian National University, was here. And while he was discussing, he said that we had two choices. One, to sign an agreement with one of the leading institutions. I will not name, but one of the IITs. And the other was to visit MIT because we have got limited bandwidth, and we chose MIT over any other institution. And why they chose it? Because of the strong commitment of our researchers, because of the strong commitment of our students, because of the strong international presence which MIT enjoys across the world. So thank you, researchers. Thank you, everyone, for making what MIT is today. We commit to you that whatever we do through our various centers, whether it's a center of happiness, through which we are trying, we should be able to address the mental health issues. We should be able to address the sadness. We should be able to add joy into the life of others. Or it's our STIF, our Science and Technology and Innovation Foundation, where we are working day and night to see that we should be able to contribute most significantly in bringing the innovation. Today, when I speak from here, we see that India climbs up in the ranking of innovation. We are the third largest, we are amongst the 5 largest economies of the world. And as per the World Bank estimates, in next 4 years, we will be amongst the top 3. And hopefully, within next 10 years, we are going to be amongst the top 2 economies of the world. If that is so, the world has to understand India, and India has to understand the whole world. And that is the reason that MIT is going across the globe. Today, with our campuses abroad, today with our study abroad programs, today with our more than 370 associations with the world-class universities, and our association with the various industries and industry bodies, we try that we should be able to contribute into the growth of the various countries. My heart goes for the researchers and for the organizing committee, and would like to acknowledge with name the contribution of each one of them. Dr. Lavleen Gore, Dr. Vinita Sharma, Dr. Mohammad Naved, Dr. Shweta Nanda, Dr. Varnika Agarwal, who's there on the screen, Dr. Priyanka Malik, Dr. Aditya Kumar Gupta, Professor Maruth, Dr. Kavita, both of them, I can see as the MOCs, Dr. Abhay Bansal, who is the director of our asset, our very good friend, and who has not only traveled with me, but always supportive. So when I told him that we need to upload all the material, and since you are one of the IEEE members, you will be able to upload the material. He said that whatever you may say. So thank you, Dr. Abhay Bansal, for assuring that after the conference, you will be able to upload all the content. Dr. Naina Chaudhary, Dr. Wajhat Hussain, who supported so much. We just told him that Dr. Wajhat want a support from your side. And he said that I, along with Dr. Faisal Malik and Professor Anand Kumar, whom I can see on the screen, they not only supported this conference, but also made it sure that all researchers who are present there in Dubai, they get a very good treatment. As an outcome of the conference, I have been told that we received 248 papers, very stringent selection because international panel was created. 43 research papers were selected to be presented. 27 case studies, and the students from across the globe participated with their case studies. We are creating a climate change and green technology center along with the industry. The Case Center of UK, their CEO, Vicky Lester, came for this conference, announced that she will be working very closely with us and MIT and the Case Center of UK together will be publishing and will be doing many exercise for the researchers across the globe. Sailesh Dash, who's the CEO of Mesh Capital, came and again assured that he will be helping in creating more programs which are based on AI, data science, machine learning, and will be contributing in the center, which we are creating on climate change and green technology. We will be coming up with the Scopus Index compilation of research papers. Dr. Loveleen and Dr. Naved, they are coming up with the Scopus Index special book. And a very amazing thing happened. Professor Mike Hinchy, who has been elected as the president of Middle East, IEEE, and Europe, he announced, looking at the passion of our MIT University Dubai campus and the core team of our research team, that next year in December, first ever IEEE award function will be held in collaboration with MIT University. This is going to change the entire dynamics of the Middle East, because for the first time, 500 top researchers of Middle East will be coming to Dubai, and MIT is going to host it along with IEEE. And some of the top industrialists of Middle East will be also a part of this conference. We also had Erasmus Plus project participants from Hungary, and my congratulations to Professor Zoltan, Professor Gonzi, who are there and who are a part of this conference. We are very happy to see that we are able to do not only academic research, but then relating it with the industry. This was a dream. This was the mandate. This was the passion of our founder. And we thought that we should be able to implement it. As a group vice chancellor, on behalf of 200,000 members of MIT family, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank each one of you. We start our day with prayers, and we pray that each one of you, you enjoy your life and you be worthy of doing more good work, and may God bless each one of you. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Group Vice Chancellor, sir. I believe that in this limited period of time, the threads that you have woven, the energy that you have given is marvelous. And this is the outcome of your hard work that we all have come up to this valedictory session. Off and on, every individual's contribution is the culmination of this great work. Ladies and gentlemen, now put your hand together to welcome special address by Mr. P.R. Jaishankar, Managing Director, IIFCL. Before I invite Sir, let me all take you to his brief bio sketch. A rich human heart synergized with financial and intellectual properties. He has a rich experience of over 32 years in development, banking, and financial domains, handling top management and board level roles in the infrastructure, mortgage finance, and capital market sectors. Before the current position, he was the executive director of National Housing Bank. He has served as director and CEO IIFCL Projects Limited, chairman board of trustee of IIFCL Asset Management Company Limited, and chief general manager. He was also on the board of India's Mortgage Credit Guarantee Corporation. Before I invite Sir, I just want to tell all of you that besides and property of intelligence and finance, his human understanding, his soft skills, and his people skills are marvelous. We welcome you, Sir, on this valedictory session, and over to you.
Thank you for that kind introduction. At the outset, I would like to thank MIT University for this opportunity, inviting me here, and Dr. Gurinder Singh in particular for the excellent work that Amity has been carrying on. And but in particular, I would like to congratulate the latest efforts for the launch of this Amity Center for Excellence on Climate Change and Green Technology Environment. I think this is the right time that practitioners in the industry and the academia join hands. And if the growing practice combined with the innovative academic minds, if they come together and create bold entrepreneurs in the process, I think the green tech can scale up. And in my view, the university ecosystem plays a very, very crucial part in this. And given the deep technological knowledge, as well as the business skills needed to invent and commercialize successfully in this green tech space, we need to foster a new and open ecosystem that breaks silos and enables more cross-sectional collaborations. I think in that process, this is a very, very useful initiative. And I think the curriculum which Dr. Gurinder Singh spoke about, I think that would be more apt, correct, considering the situation, the position that India is now taken in this climate change movement, with the Prime Minister announcing that we will be net zero by 2070, and we have a very, very clear, focused goal, a time-bound goal from 2030, 2050, and 2070. So I think the strategy is also very, very set. The intent is very clear. I think looking at it from the global perspective, India seems to be the front runners amongst the G20 nations to, with a very clear, vision, as well as on track to achieve the targets which have been set under the Paris Agreement. So in that context, as well as the potentials that are there to be reaped in the process, the renewable sources and all the other carbon emissions reduction technological components, which in the process, all these offer a very, very great opportunity for various entrepreneurs. And at the same time, challenges are there. Challenges because today we have, we have committed to all this, for achieving all these targets. But looking at it, though the enormity of the targets may be little, unnerving, but this was the situation 1 decade ago was that we were very, very insignificant as far as the entire, climate change process was concerned. Our renewable energy component in the energy mix itself was less than 1%. And today, the installed capacities of the renewable energy projects occupies more than 40%. And last 5 years, we have been growing at a CAGR of about 12%. So, and global average is just about 7%. So in that process, we last 1 decade, the kind of dedicated efforts and the strategy and the vision has really taken us and scaled up the entire process for putting us as front runners in the entire in the efforts to decarbonize and work towards our goals. One more important area is about the challenges which we look in the future. That is the kind of new technology transitions that could happen, disruptions that could happen, and how best the businesses can adapt to such transitions and disruptions. So that is something which everybody is talking about and everybody is concerned, as well as looking forward to keeping the advantages which are there before us, both in terms of providing a very, very green environment, as well as cost effectiveness, which can also be dovetailed with that. So it's a very, very good future for the entire nation, as well as our contribution towards environment for a better world. So I think it's a very, very good initiative, and Amity University in the academic field of academics taking this step can be a very encouraging one, and can be a kind of a leadership position where universities can do a lot of contributions towards what our national goals are. So I think there IIFCL will be very, very keen and very, very interested in getting into a collaborative effort with the Amity University in the form and manner that we can decide. And as the businesses and innovations, the efforts towards business, the innovations in businesses are stepped up, the entire ecosystem will benefit out of this collaboration. I think we have a very, very good future for that. And I must congratulate Dr. Gurinder Singh, the Amity Universities, and the entire team for taking the leadership role for putting in place such a Center for Excellence in the field of green technology and climate change movement. So with that, I once again thank you for inviting me over, and I wish everybody all the success in their future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, Jayasankar sir, and your contribution in this great center which we are launching, and I would request the blessings of our founder president.
Before we do that inauguration, I think that our founder will be joining, and he wanted that he should personally be able to do this in the presence of Jayasankar ji. But I think this is also a time when we should acknowledge the efforts of our team, which so ably under the leadership of Dr. Megha Sharma created the curriculum and are working day and night for the launch of Center of Climate Change. Thank you so much, Dr. Megha Sharma. We have been joined by our very visionary founder, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, Mr. Jayasankar ji. Jayasankar ji. Dr. Megha, I think that Jayasankar ji is not here.
Namaskar,
Yes.
Ashok ji, namaskar.
Yeah, so we can now inaugurate the center. Yeah.
With the blessings of our founder president, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan sir, and with the Chancellor, Dr. Atul Chauhan sir, with the presence of Group Vice Chancellor, here comes the launch of Center of Climate Change. I request all dignitaries to give the clean chit for the green revolution to happen in this great university. So it's the moment for the launch to be announced. Here comes the launch of Center of Climate Change, Green Technology and Management. As you all know that green technology is bringing the umbrella for technologies and science to create products and services that are environmentally friendly. It has also been called as green tech or for clean tech. So this innovation is one of the brainchild of our Group Vice Chancellor, sir, who always propagate that the teaching should move out with the culmination and amalgamation of industry. So thank you, Jayasankar sir, for being such a wonderful support for bringing this great synergy here. And I would request Founder Sir now to also give his blessings for this great center of excellence.
My dear all attendees, most worthy distinguished guests, I was in another meeting, but silently listening from the very beginning. On my table, there are 4 laptops, and then I manipulate one sound open, one sound. So I was hearing Dr. Gurinder Singh, and Dr. Gurinder, if your wife Dolly rings me, that Dr. John, a problem is there. Dr. Gurinder Singh speaks during the night in the sleep. I told, don't worry, he's counting his campuses in India and abroad. So swiftly you counted, I cannot even count. So then I requested, I'll be coming back again in the end. But at the moment, I wanted to really appreciate and give my compliments and my thanks to Padmanabhan Raja Jayashankarji. I heard his full lecture, highly motivating, inspiring, and one can say the lecture for the leaders of the leaders. Dr. Gurinder, you have invited such great persons. How do you do it? I will speak to you later on. But sometime, not in this course of today's program, I would like to request you to have all these for 1.5 hours on an online meeting. I want to learn leadership from them, because each one is a leader of a leader. So Dr. Gurinder, if you will do it, I will be highly obliged and grateful to you. Vansal is also there. So yes. At the most, Jayashankarji, please help us, guide us. What I heard, each word of yours was a path-breaking, path-showing word. You really told that the world is getting a lot of new challenges, disruptions. So I think, Dr. Gurinder, we, at the moment only, I wanted to hurriedly thank him. I don't know how long Shri Jayashankarji would be sitting over here. So I just left other meeting and attending, but I will come again. So I will speak to all of you later on for 5-7 minutes. But at the moment, Jayashankarji, my heartiest thanks to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Founder Sir, for your blessings and your encouragement. I would request Marut to kindly share the screen. Now the time has come to felicitate PR Jayasankar Sir for his valuable time, for his mentoring and guiding us for creating this great center of climate change at Amity. Thank you so much, sir, for your time, your support, and your encouragement. Over to you, Marut.
Thank you very much, Kamita ma'am. I think it's a very interesting launch that has been viewed by millions of Amitians all over the world and leading researchers. With this, we go ahead and I would request Professor Mohan Lal Agarwal, President Indo-Gulf.
Excuse me, Dr. Marut. I'm a part of your family. So if you allow me, I would like to yield my position to other speakers who are from outside. And if you allow me, please invite Dr. Sitaraman, CEO of the Doha Bank. I think it will be really, because I'm one of his fans also. So I would like to hear him as well. If you allow me, then only.
Thank you very well. Your points are well taken. I think, Group Vice Chancellor, sir, we will go ahead and go as per the suggestions of Professor Mohan Lal Agarwal. Ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to invite Professor Dr. Raghavan Sitaraman, former CEO of Doha Bank and a renowned researcher from UAE. Let me just take you through Professor Raghavan's brief profile. He was the former Chief Executive Officer at Doha Bank, and he is a prominent personality in the banking industry throughout the Middle East, an economic expert who has achieved remarkable success for his contributions to banking, trade, investment, economics, environment, social responsibility, philanthropy, and charity. He was recognized and conferred by the Government of India with the prestigious Pravasi Bharti Samman Award, the highest honor conferred on overseas Indians by the Government of India. Shri Pranab Mukherjee, Honorable President of India, handed over the award citation and the gold medallion to Dr. Sitaraman. Without further ado, it is my proud privilege to extend a warm welcome to Dr. Raghavan Sitaraman. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. What a joy and privilege to be an integral part of this interesting combination of intellects. I've been carefully listening to the speeches of various individuals and institutions. It's an extraordinary combination of people you brought in. My simple compliments to one and all for integrating such intellects. We live in a changing world. Extraordinary set of changes and challenges are happening. I was in an International Monetary Fund meeting last month in Washington. The world is going through extraordinary set of a regression. The recession is ultimately endangering the sustenance. If you look at the IMF prediction, we have glaring evidence. It was 6% aggregate growth for the global economy in 2020, and it moved to nearly 3.2% in 2021-22. Now we are likely to have 2.7% for 23. It's a descending trend. Aggregate position apart. If you look at advanced economies, they're all grossly underperforming. In aggregate terms, the so-called G7 is producing 1.1%. That's absolutely unacceptable. When it comes to emerging economies, developing economies, they should be in a position to report maximum of 3.7%. Clearly indicating there's an absolute disintegration in terms of trade or investments, banking or finance. The productivity is at stake. Technically, we are under recession, so there's no question about it. When we recognized in 2008, the subprime crisis, individuals and institutions are overstretched and excess leverage was responsible for Lehman Brothers collapse. The meltdown started, and clearly it was a constructive evidence for us to bring in global governance to a different perspective. Uniformity in terms of accounting, valuation, securitization was all sought through. We brought Basel III. Capital rules have been redefined to make sure enterprise integration becomes more scientific, prolific, and professional. We learn lessons. We improve the liquidity. When we recognized liquidity was an issue, it was not solvency in total terms. We started printing money, improving the money supply, increasing the money, liquidity can inflate the economies and pull out of recession. What you call quantitative easing. The accommodation was successful. Trillions of dollars were pumped in the market. The markets were recognizing stocks, currencies, commodities, bond, properties, name it. That was a starting point for us to recognize we need ethical and moral governance to the global framework. And that was the lesson learned. The global governance, to a large extent, was compromised in terms of the dictum. Fortunately, we were setting the grounds right, and more or less, we got the house in order. We were able to bring in together the solvency framework, and people started restoring trust in the financial institutions to start with. It was not confined to financial crisis. It was not confined to one single sector. It was a human crisis. That was one of my research paper, which I submitted in the European University way back in 2012. The crisis was an opportunity for us to cleanse the systems, bring in moral and ethical governance. Crisis was an opportunity. I said it in United Nations. Now, COVID came. We had 642 million people impacted. We lost 6.6 million people. The social risk and governance, economic risk and governance, human risk and governance, financial risk and governance, they're all converging and destabilizing the world. We saw the change required to redefine transformation in substance in terms of the way we do the business, the fiscal or monetary. What did we do? We recognized, again, we have to go to quantitative easing, ease of doing business, making sure we support the sustainable value creation. The Millennium Development Goals, when it was turned into Sustainable Development Goal, we need to eliminate extreme poverty, gender equality, global warming and climate change, universal education, universal health care, bringing peace to the and again, social stability to the institutions, and making sure we collaborate and cooperate to ensure the planet as a whole is not endangering its solvency. That's what the purpose of it. We started printing money again, improving the liquidity, and we started touching the monetary policy, and we started recognizing we have to inflate the economy again. The monetary and fiscal policy were diverging in substance. That's what is happening now. Globally, there is no synchronized monetary policy by technocrats, what you call central bankers. The fiscal comes from the politicians. The politicians, they have the receipts and payments. They have to necessarily make sure the social framework is respected, and whatever the commitment they made, whichever be the country, whichever be the continent they belong to, they have to make sure alignment of social commitments comes in, a fiscal policy and monetary policy comes in. And that's what we were engaged in all these 3 years. The resultant variance was developing to be a substance of good compliance. And we have transformation in substance, a lot of digital governance. We have seen the way the things have changed. The world over, we are redefining yourself. Institutions like a financial framework has to necessarily understand all these changes in the world, in monetary or fiscal, governance or compliance, and ensure we have cohesively evolving products or services, process or solutions to the best advantage to common good. The customer experience, what they call, the human experience in terms of social standing. All these changes were visible, and we were compassionate enough to recognize the world has to come together. When G7 has become G8, G8 has become G20, we've seen the reflection. Then nobody expected war. Financial economies were converting into real. Real economies were redefining the scope and performance. Communism has changed. Capitalism is alternating in form and substance. We have mixed economy, outstanding performance. India, even today, in global map, it's going to be scoring more than 6%, highest performing enterprise in substance. India is a role model in terms of financial inclusion and diversity. IMF was widely discussing last 4 or 5 years the substance of financial inclusion. That's a great story to propagate. And even today, the financial stability India has demonstrated in terms of monetary policy as well as the fiscal policy is aligned with the difference to the rest of the world. While we have fiscal union in the US, European community has got a different perspective. The monetary union is there, fiscal union is not there. That's an absolute divergence. That's why the political union is nothing but a fiscal union is required to converge to have financial stability. If you look at the breakdown in terms of global growth for next year, 0.5% is Europe. India is 6.1%, China is 4.4%, United States is 1%. There are economies in Europe contracting, like Italy. So we have all sort of evidence for us to construct the world at large is going through extraordinary set of challenges. Nobody can question it. So how do we redefine ourselves? How do we transform? How do we bring in value systems which are going to be stable and functional to make sure we have common protection for humanity? We will make sure sustainable value could be created, not only in terms of the financial stability, in terms of economics, the convergence of economics, the ecology, the climate change plays a big role. Unless you have financial stability, you can't fund even climate. I was practicing green banking 20 years. Essentially, the capital, risk-weighted capital has to be allocated in terms of lending or investments towards projects, whether it's water management or waste management or solar or diverse. Options are there for us to see through a portion of the risk-weighted capital based on the global carbon emission. If the United States is emitting 15%, China is emitting 27%, if India is emitting 7%, Europe is emitting 10% in terms of global carbon outcome. If you have to decarbonize, there's at least 7% of Indian banking risk capital, risk-weighted capital has to be allocated for projects which are substantive in terms of sustainable value creation. That's the message. That was my research paper, which was produced in Sri University. Now, evidencing the facts, how do we redefine ourselves? We have to necessarily reorganize, restructure the debt. The global debt is out of line. Individual debts are out of line. People live beyond their means. They are excess leveraging. So redefining the debt is a major opportunity. Restructuring of a debt, financial discipline, fiscal discipline within the countries or continents for planet protection. And remedial management. How do we make sure the small or medium-sized enterprise come to terms. Individual and institutions come to terms in terms of subsistence. That's why freebies were given throughout this pandemic. We have seen the reflection in terms of total reorganizations, and remedial management plays a role. Convergence of banking and technology, or convergence of technology and commonhood, is the new world order. While the industrial revolutions has moved from first to second to third to fourth, now the digital economies we are building. And we also have a cyber risk. You look at the challenges we have faced on the, of late on the cyber crimes, including Bitcoins. It's an absolute fraud. It's an absolute money laundering and, combating financing terrorism. It's not disintegrated. You have to necessarily make sure you have put in systems which are totally cohesive. Currency is a barometer of an economy. You cannot create coins. You cannot create individual network and say that's the value of the currency. No. Central bank has to digitize one single currency for one country. That's the prudence of your economics or fiscal and monetary alignment. And that's what precisely India is doing. India is in the right direction, trust me. The brand value, India is globalizing in substance, whether it's culture or heritage or civilization or music or dance or Hollywood or Bollywood or name it. India is today globalizing it. We are proud Indians, over 30 million across the globe. I've been a non-resident for 40 years. Now, I should tell you, with the change in face of the world, we have bigger opportunity for us to redefine India further. Last year alone, our unicorns have been successful. Non-resident funding has been over 65 billion. IPOs and FTOs, we have procured over 26 billion. We have reserves nearing 650 billion. We have gold over 750 billion tons. What is not there in India? World is going to recognize, I'm just drawing from the president word. We have to understand this economy can be 5 trillion by 2027 easily. There are ground rules are already set in. That's what the whole world is listening to. Not only we are moderate in terms of pursuit of global human endeavors, our alignment, our demographic dividend, and the overall framework has been productive, constructive, and it is the global leader in substance. And that's what is going to happen. We can be number 2 in no time by 2030. It is possible. The convergence of digital advantage is redefining it, whether it's sustainable digital bank, whether it's Bitcoins or machine learning or artificial intelligence or Internet of Things, which is running globally over 50 billion. India is a market to reckon. We are seeing the reflection, seeing the way customer is getting the experience. The overall delivery system hasn't changed, while supply chain disruption is there around the world. So we have bigger opportunity for us to transform individuals and institutions. In today's context, we are recognizing this opportunity. So remedial management, restructuring, changing the business model.
Professor Raghavan?
Every single industry, I'm concluding as my last part. Recognizing this opportunity, we have to necessarily understand that technology convergence will play a role and digital economies are getting created. The more you accelerate the digital advantage, converge with the global business model, politicians will recognize the opportunity, individuals and institutions will recognize the change. And that's the opportunity I was talking about. It's not only the bleak, the economic momentum, converting this, embracing this change, and ensuring you create a revenue model, additional revenue model, rationalize the mechanism through knowledge process outsourcing, business process outsourcing are all a bigger advantage. So to say a final thought, we live in a changing world, extraordinary set of challenges we are facing, and technically we are underwater around the world. But the opportunity lies in progressive vision and commitment and the changes which we talked about. If we embrace these changes and redefine yourself, transformational leadership can give you enormous value advantage to commonhood. We build not only better India, better citizens for India, we build a better world and better citizens to the world. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your kind attention.
Thank you, Professor Raghavan, for sparing your invaluable time with us. It was a very erudite address, and we would love to ponder upon the thought and have more interactions going forward. Ladies and gentlemen, with this, we come to our next speaker for today, Dr. Stephen Rasig, the Chief Academic Zone Officer, Ras Al Khaimah Economic Zone. Dr. Stephen is currently the Chief Academic Zone Officer at Ras Al Khaimah Economic Zone. The academic zone licenses all international university branch campuses in Ras Al Khaimah and private educational consultancy firms and freelancers who open business in the free zone. Prior to joining, Dr. Rasig has held a number of key roles in the education global sector. Without further ado, I would request Dr. Stephen to give his address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for this time and invitation. I want to shift gears a little bit now, talking about the fact that we're talking now on the computational and knowledge management. So today, in 10 minutes, I want to be able to talk about some of the emerging skills that we're sort of seeing both within industry and academia. I want to talk about some of the big 5 driving forces that's shaping the future of jobs, including automation and skills, and also about how universities such as Armada University, adaptability is actually ensuring students are equipped for the rapid changing workforce, because we know that things are moving at a rapid pace. So in terms of the clustering future skills, when we're thinking about industry, when we're thinking about sustainability, we're thinking about water resource management, we're thinking about fintech and so forth. We want graduates and we want the current workforce to sort of have these future skills. These are personal skills, cognitive skills, people skills, and knowledge. We also, I'm just having troubles with the slides at the moment. So in terms of so when we're talking about personal skills, we're talking about entrepreneurship, self-promotion. We're talking about self-development. We're talking about resilience. We're talking about adaptability. We're talking about cross-cultural competency and transdisciplinary knowledge. We're talking about cognitive skills. We're talking here about the sense-making. We talk about problem solving, complex problem solving, not just recalling information that we've read online and regurgitating that information. We're talking about creativity, innovation. We talk about people skills here. We're thinking about new media literacies, ecological ethos. Recently, I visited a private school and they had what's called an eco-literate curriculum. I thought and because they want their students to be global eco-citizens. So they think the way of sort of introducing that at a young age is to bring in this eco-literacy. We're talking about STEM and knowledge digital fluency and industry-specific knowledge and expertise. In our role, we know about knowledge in terms of, we took the conference around knowledge management. You've got knowledge in terms of leadership, people management, teamwork, collaboration, social intelligence, and of course, the emotional intelligence. So it's not just the technical skills, but it's also, as we refer to as the soft skills. So moving forward, from my view and what I've been noticing across academia and industry is that there's 5 driving forces that are shaping the current future of jobs and skills. One is rapid digital transformation. So we're talking about automation, AI, IoT, and so forth. We're talking around a drive towards sustainability, around social demographic shifts, around this sense of personal purpose and responsibility, and a change in business and responsibility. I'll now break these down a little bit in a short period of time I have. When we're talking about rapid digital transformation, we're talking about how does, we know recently that Amazon have put off 10,000 jobs. We know that across the globe, we're reading about a number of employees in tech sector losing their jobs. But we also, and when we hear of these concerns of people thinking that the machine's going to take my jobs, et cetera, et cetera. But let's think about this with the potential of new opportunities. We know that certainly an emerging sector is this area of sort of robotics, advanced manufacturing. We know about AR and VR. We know the power of e-gaming and sort of gamified learning. AI, artificial intelligence is everywhere, and big data and advanced analytics. So this is what we've at the horizon of rapid digital transformation. When we talk about the drive towards sustainability, we know that more and more today, organisations, really future-focused organisations, are creating sort of new green roles. So to address global challenges. So here we're talking about climate change, resource scarcity. And what I can say is that some of the industry trends, 24 million clean energy jobs will be created by 2030. And global corporations have committed to buying 100% clean energy to reduce carbon emissions. And we see that by the time of 2030, there'll be 50% increasing demand for food, water, and energy across the globe. When we're looking at socio-demographic shifts, here we know that as populations change, we talk about urban sprawling and people and actually urban planning, where some of the former jobs that were based in urban cities are now being relocated out to rural areas to build a sense of community. But we're talking now of people not necessarily retiring at a certain age, people working longer, people living longer. So we're seeing this increasing longevity, which also creates new jobs and future jobs, particularly in the aid sector. Then we're talking about diversity at work, inclusion. And some of the industry trends here that I've noticed is that under inclusive leadership, employees are 3.5 times more likely to contribute to their full potential. The fourth rapid sort of shift is this around personal purpose and responsibility. What are we finding, what the research is showing that particularly post-COVID is that, and particularly say millennials, people are, they like the hybrid or flexible sort of work from home, come to office as long as objectives are being met and so forth. But there's more than that. There's a genuine sense now and in the future of the spirit of purpose. People who want to feel a sense of belonging and give back, a sense of ethics and citizenship. And the current trends that 94% of the millennials today want to use their skills to benefit the cause. And across industry, 90% of corporate executives recognise the necessity of having a business purpose, where 88% of people said that clearly helps increase customer loyalty. And the final fifth aspect here is that change in business and the economy. Here we're talking about that we've got this, when we talk about globalization, global business hubs, there's actually a lot of transformational shift happening. And when we talk about flexible business models, flexible work environments, globalization, globalization, economic shift. So we're seeing more and more of this sort of flexibility, a shift from the traditional to the sort of the hybrid to the future. And in terms of the industry trends, more than 80% of the corporations today plan to substantially increase the use of flexible workers in the coming years. So these are corporations that aren't just having people to come to their office every single day from the same country. These are organisations that actually will hire people from the globe in more flexible models. Flexible models where they could be on shorter contracts or per deliverable or per service contract, as opposed to all the full-time equivalency that comes with that. And Armsy University, I know, is a very reputable university, and a lot of the universities that we work with, we're seeing a sense of adaptability, particularly responsiveness to embracing change, transformation, and thinking about the future. We know today that universities are creating more opportunities for students to acquire the future skills. We see a shift towards new micro-credentials, digital badges, internships, real internships, to let students and faculty, because faculty who are so you've got people saying we want more access to researchers, and researchers saying we want more access to industry. But what we want to see, what we do think, and what we're reading about is the fact that industry is saying, why doesn't an academic come and spend a bit of time, maybe a month or two, working in our industry, working with us, seeing our challenges, and then taking those challenges back to the industry, and industry going and spending some time as guest lecturers or faculty, adjunct faculty in university. So we have this reciprocity. And how does industry and university collaborate to ensure that the degrees and the content and the assessment requirements are also sort of fluid to match with the changing needs. But in terms of international students, there's two sort of things that we've got. One is that there's a need for tertiary education, and two, there's specific demands and desires. What international students today, and we're talking about global citizenship, we're talking about they want employment, they want academic quality, they want lifestyle, culture, transport and housing, and they want safety and security. So that's...
Thank you, Professor Steve, for this wonderful presentation. And I think in a crisp period of time, the kind of modules that you have brought here, it is the best presentation. Thank you so much. And as you have said, that industry association is paramount. We have another very legendary speaker here with us, Mr. Richard Reiki, and it is my honor to welcome Sir. He's a board member from KPMG. He's a former CEO of KPMG India and was a member of Global Board and the Council of KPMG International. He's a qualified chartered accountant with over 39 years of experience in consulting and professional services. He's a speaker at international and domestic forums. He's a member of various industry bodies, leading educational institution, and is actively involved with startups, community, as an investor and a mentor. Besides an intellectual human being, he's a wonderful warm heart who knows what is the meaning of life and how to contribute in adding a value in true sense. Over to you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. And Dr. Gurinder Singh, thank you for inviting me, and Amity for having me here. I think it's a pleasure. And after hearing the story on Amity, I think it's truly an amazing story. And I think you all have taken a very good step on that climate change and green environment. I think today at every board, the three topics that get discussed, amongst the top three topics, ESG is one of them. And I think it is just not about training. I do not know whether you're doing board training and other things also along with it, but if you're doing that and senior management training, just not the curriculum for the course, I think there are armies of people which need to be trained. And I think that's what you all are doing, and it's excellent. And I must compliment you all for that and wish you all the best on that initiative. So, you know, what I've been asked to speak on is a little bit on my journey. So I'm not the typical Big Four accounting person who came in. I started my career in a very small firm, a medium-sized firm, and I was there for 13 years. And then I moved to Arthur Andersen, and then, of course, KPMG. I think the advantage that I had was the initial grooming that one gets. And I just want, there are lots of students out here, and I would, who would be listening in, and I think it's very important for you all, especially some of the learnings which one gets, because I didn't have the opportunity of getting someone to come and speak to me. And we have heard some great speakers before this who would have enlightened you with a lot of their topics. But I think the biggest thing which I learned from a very young age was, and that was at my first organization, was how do you think positive and how do you bring solutions? This world has lots of problems. I've been hearing everybody saying this problem, that problem, economy is not growing, global economy is not growing. We need to find solutions. We just cannot sit with our hands tied up and say, there are no solutions. There is solution to every problem. And once one is positive thinking, one can work towards a solution. This I learned very early. But as we all know, we only connect the dots very much later in life. And you know, later on, I realized how those two qualities actually helped me become what I became. And those are plus other things. And I think at Arthur Andersen, which I still feel, though the firm doesn't exist anymore, was probably the best accounting firm the globe has ever seen. And the kind of people it took out, because it made you believe in yourself. It made you believe that you're the best, and it made you do your best. So clients were delighted with the quality of service we gave, because quality was uncompromised. There was no way any document would get out of that firm without it being quality checked 20 times maybe. And I think it's very, very important. That was ingrained at a younger age into you. And so that remained as one of the pillars of the work that you do. Hard work, is discipline. These are the pillars on which your entire career needs to get built. And the fulcrum or the bedrock of that has to be your values. Many people talk of values, okay, I'm this and I'm that. I think values don't need to be spoken about, they need to be lived. And leaders need to lead from the front. They need to let people see the values being demonstrated in the work they do, because that's where the learning comes from. I can only tell you one thing, that my greatest learnings came from all my failures. And I have a bunch of failures across my career. And each failure actually made me dig deep into my reservoir of talent and made me believe or made me do things which I thought I did not know how to do. So I think failure is very important in anybody's life, because you learn much more. Success, you can be a cheerleader, you continue to succeed, but it doesn't really teach you much. But failure teaches you a lot. In fact, you come out stronger each time. You come out a far better person, a far better professional. And I was reading this comment that people who lead with the head and the heart make a formidable combination. And I think those leaders who actually lead with both these qualities actually change the world. And there are a number of leaders like this who one has seen in the world and who one has emulated over this period of time. The other important quality which you need to build is relationships, authentic relationships, deep relationships as you grow up. And these relationships are going to help you as you go up in life, because it is this network. As you grow senior in an organization, you realize the only valuable asset you have is your network. So, and also one very important thing, the one thing which I kept at very young, I learned was that you should always walk the high ground, irrespective of the financial gain or loss. And this was something that my grandfather challenged me with when he said that, let me see when you are tested, how honest you are. And every time I came out of these tests, I used to say a small thank you to him, because he challenged me, and that's what made me do things which I did when I was the CEO at KPMG. We took some of the decisions which actually made us lose a lot of money, but we did the right thing. So I think it's not about just making money, it's about doing the right thing and being able to live with your conscience. The one thing which all of us youngsters, I know all of you sitting there, would be very much enamored with is titles, money, what will we get? Fortunately, none of these actually got me excited. And for me, it was more the role. It was more about doing something different, adding value to it. Because let me tell you, titles and money will come to you. We live in a very temporary world. Nothing is permanent. We are seeking permanence in a temporary world. And I think that is where the problem comes up. And so we need to ensure that, that we don't get enamored by these, because these will remain with you for some time, they'll go away. I give one example to everybody. Life is a circle. What goes up comes down. If you treat people with respect on your way up, that's the way they're going to treat you on your way down. And we should all aim to become people of success and not people of, should not become people of success, but rather become people of values. We must make sure that our values are actually with us all along. Secondly, the other point which I think is very important, which I thought I'd leave with you all, is we need to love what we do and we should be passionate about it, because this is no more about a job. It's about something that you love. And once you love, then you give your life to it and you become like Dr. Gurinder Singh, who even in his sleep, we heard the founder say, he's talking about his institute. So that means he's completely ingrained into it, and something very, very commendable, I would say. One needs to be uncompromising in quality. We should never let that ever our guards down. Many times as we grow up in life, we feel, and the story you told, Dr. Gurinder Singh, about that one student who became a chief operating officer and earning crores of rupees today, but he never forgot his roots. He never forgot from where he came. So be proud from where you come. And once you're proud of where you have come, your achievement even looks much better. And I think humility is something which is most important. And there can be no better story than Sachin Tendulkar, who actually lived it. And the other point which I thought I'll leave with you is gratitude. when we reach somewhere in life, or wherever we reach in life, actually, there are many people who have helped us. Do we ever go back and say thank you to them? And, I remember the General Bikram Singh, who was the army chief. He came and addressed us once. And he said the day he became the army chief, he invited all his teachers and he said thank you to them. So I think it's time that each of us learn to thank the people who helped us. One of the things which I led my life with, and I thought it's important that I share it with you, is I had my higher purpose. And, the higher purpose of life is when you know the why of your life. Why are you doing something? Why are you working here? Why are you doing that? And once you find that why, or you find a number of whys, you would have found that higher purpose. Higher purpose, in my view, is your capital account. Your salary is your current account, if you just want it simply defined. Secondly, we are in an institution here, and lifelong learning, it never stops. Luckily for me, I've been a student. I've been a voracious reader. And I would encourage all students and everybody who's listening in out here, please make reading a habit, because through reading, you learn a lot and you come to know what's happening in the world. You've already heard from different speakers, the kind of change that we are seeing in technology, which is so fast paced today. It's become pervasive in the way we live. And nobody can be untouched by technology. You can't say I'm an accountant, I don't understand technology. Everybody is now touched by this. And especially the new age technology. This actually, through artificial intelligence and automation, machine learning, we are talking about auditors getting replaced by machine learning. And we did test it, and it almost frightened us what results we got. And data has become the most important thing. And I think the person who owns the data will actually control the world. So I think all these new technologies that are coming in, every day one new technology. We spoke about electric vehicles. Now the whole thing is changing. Now we're talking about hydrogen green. So what's going to happen to electric vehicles? So I think we need to, we saw the 2G, we saw the 3G, and then the 4G. Literally 3G passed us by, and we got into 4G, and now we are talking of 5G. For the students here, I just want to leave a few thoughts before I leave, before I close my talk. Never sell anything that you will not buy. Never sell anything that you will not buy. Hard work never goes unrewarded. Put in that 10% extra, and you will be, and this is what differentiates winners from losers. One needs to have the fire in the belly, and half of the battle is won in your mind, and then you execute it. Ego, in my view, is the largest destroyer. One has to become, when one is in the corporate world, one has to become less sensitive, and you need to take that ego and throw it away and just move along with the times. You need to be flexible, you need to be agile, and you always need to be in the driver's seat. Your destiny is in your hand. And I will end by saying that you should lead your life in such a way that if tomorrow comes and you're not here, how would you like to be remembered? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Indeed, a very mesmerizing address and some useful tenets for a wisdom of a happy life. I think it comes to rescue for all of us. Before you leave for your meeting, and we respect, that you stayed a little longer with us, I would request Honorable Group Vice Chancellor, sir, and Dr. Fazal to please felicitate Mr. Riki before he leaves for the meeting.
Dr. Marut, just 1 minute for Dr. Riki. Marut?
Yes, sir. Please, sir. Over to you.
Dr. Riki, I think astonishing lecture. And Marut,
thank you.
Who was instrumental in winning his time to come here? Who is it Dubai people or Gurinder, or who was instrumental?
Gurinder,
Dr. Gurinder Singh.
The request to you is, please request him that I want soon 1 2-hour session where thousands of students, research scholars will be sitting in myself. Each word, what he has told for students, research scholars, youngsters, will change their life. Because I know how important are the words to tell. Whatever he told, I think is to be emulated. And my students, they are brilliant, but they should listen him. So my request to his 2-hour session. We'll ask the convenience of students, research scholars, so that Riki ji 2 ghante bolte hain, 2 hours he should speak, and I will sit myself. And
I would like to come to your campus and do it, because it's more effective than just going on.
That will be wonderful. That will be wonderful. So Gurinder, and if sometime on convocation I cannot speak, I am out of the station, then he can replace me because I always speak in convocation. Yes, we have given in 3 days 17,500 degrees. and their parents come and all. So if sometime I'm unable to be present, Ricky Saab will speak, because this is what alumni should know, each word. So thank you very much, Ricky. You are
Thank
so
you. Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much,
All
sir.
the
I
best.
think,
Thank you,
thank you
sir.
very much. It's the philosophy of the president,
forward to see you on
the
campus.
founder president also, that human values are the core of Amity's philosophy. So with this, we would request Honorable Founder President, sir, Dr. Gurinder Singh, sir, and Dr. Fazal to please felicitate Mr. Riki, because he has to leave for a meeting. Amity is proud to confer an Amity Global Corporate Excellence Award to Mr. Richard Reiki, board member KPMG, Dubai. Thank you very much, sir. We look forward.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you, Dr. Gurinder Singh, for inviting me. Bye.
It is now time to invite our next speaker, Dr. Mohanlal Agarwal, who is the president of Indo-Gulf Management Association. Dr. Mohanlal Agarwal is the recipient of the UAE Golden Visa for Research Excellence. He is a US Fulbright Fellow, Boston, EFMD Fellow at the ESSEC Business School, Paris, British Council Fellow, London, ranked among the top 255 most fabulous global education leaders. He was also a former professor at the California State University, but to Amity, he's a family member. He's a very good friend of Amity. We hand it over to you, sir, for your address.
Thank you very much. I just do not know what is it that I should begin with, because this is my red letter day. Dr. Ashok Chauhan, if you are still there, and if I can, say this to you, 30 years ago, you and I met at a conference in Delhi when you were as handsome, as impressive as you are at that time. And then I had the also, pleasure to meet you for coming to this business school in Noida. But I was going to, at that time, California State University, so I couldn't take the pleasure. But after almost 31 years, I'm seeing you, sir, and you are absolutely amazing, absolutely vivacious, and so very graceful in terms of saying what you say to your. Totally thrilled and absolutely learning point for all of us. Thank you, Dr. Chauhan, if you are listening, if you're there. At this particular moment, I want to thank again a very charming Group Vice Chancellor, Dr. Gurinder Singh ji, Group Vice Chancellor, amazing person, always on the lookout to look at the new opportunities, partnerships, new laurels for Amity University. Wherever he goes, he just goes. And then those people just come rushing after him, because this is the kind of charm he leaves behind. So I really thank you for this opportunity to be there. Indo, which has 5,000 members and present in all 6 GCC countries and India. Universities and business schools being our partner, that we got this opportunity to be here today. I'm at this moment Russell Khema, which is a of UAE, and which is probably some of you may remember, if you are a history buff, that it was the last emirate to have joined the UAE when it became in 1971 as a country. Many of you may perhaps remember with some kind of disappointment, and also sometimes wondering what happened, why India, which used to be the seat, which used to be the home of learning, and which attracted people throughout the world to come to our universities and all, they did not just, we kind of lost that. I'm glad, that come universities like Amity, which is a gold standard in private universities, in management, in terms of governance, in terms of vision, in terms of resources behind that vision. Everything is a resource-based strategy that they follow. So all these things, I was wondering why we lost it. There are many reasons, and I wouldn't go into that. But one thing I would like to say, and which is probably relevant to the theme of the session today, and which is that we stopped being producer of knowledge, but we started becoming better delivery boys of knowledge. Pizza was made somewhere else, delivery boys were there. In other words, we became more better teachers in the class rather than better researchers in the lab or somewhere. And we lost that because of that originality being gone from us to somewhere else. I think the efforts like the one which Dr. Gurinder Singh ji made about this conference and about many other conferences that you are talking about, I am 100% sure that the knowledge will all will again start flowing from this part to the Western world, and we will be able to recapture some of our magic, some of our glory, some of the things that we were very proud of, when we also known for the research and research that makes the difference. Now, that is why this third international conference on computation, automation, and knowledge management assumes a very, very high degree of importance, relevance for everyone. And what a treat that you have given to those 180 or 200 plus researchers who came here today, yesterday, and day before yesterday, who presented their work. I would really, really be happy if you can provide some kind of summary of some of the papers later so that others can also get inspired, enthused, and go into that particular direction. Now, so I would like to talk about one area which has emerged as absolutely ripe and right for research, for business schools, for universities which have business orientation, and for all those researchers who pride in being what is known as applied researchers, those people who bring the industry and the academics closer to each other, and they try to not only bridge the gap, but sometimes they create what is known as a positive gap, which is like a challenge to the industry also to cope up with the academics when academics bring out certain theories, like some of you may remember that C.K. Prahlad's theory, like whether it is, bottom of the pyramid or whether it is a core competence. The entire edifice of the consulting industry of McKinsey and others is based on his one single piece of work, which was the core competence. And I'm 100% sure that some of the things that we are doing in these conferences will also become the foundation for others to do that. Similarly, if you may remember that we received several waves of research, sometimes Europe, sometimes USA, and sometimes from India also, which became at least the foundation for new reflection, foundation for new thinking for the business people to think that what we can do to make advantage of. Whether it is, you could say re-engineering, whether you could say customer relationship management, whether you could services marketing, relationship marketing, any of those things, being a loyal servant of services marketing and marketing, I definitely would like to mention them, which created a new wave of research, at least for a decade or so. I think the next decade is going to be on a new area, and which we will call it metaverse. Now, this metaverse is in many ways a virtualization of reality. It is not virtual reality, it is virtualization of reality, where people are gaining much, much more than perhaps they would be getting in real life or in real world. They are getting through the metaverse. And I strongly hope and feel that, like Dr. Gurinder, you are bringing new centers of excellence of research. Probably this can also be one of the areas of future research center, that where we talk about this virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality, artificial intelligence, blockchain, everything together under this, metaverse. I mean, what a wonderful tribute to the concept has been given by Facebook, that they themselves renamed after Meta only for this particular reason, that it offers immense opportunities of business, research, thinking, reflection, connections with each other. So if you just allow me, I will show about 3 or 4 slides to show that what is metaverse, what are the essential elements of metaverse, and which are the industries which are using it, and finally, what is the research agenda. These are the 4 slides I would like to use. If you allow me, I'll just take few minutes to explain that particular part. Now, I call it for our purposes. Is my slide clear there? Are you able to see it?
You can do full screen, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
Perfect.
Huh?
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah. So what I'm saying here is that metaverse is the new magical research regime in which possibilities are absolutely immense for business, for others to take, and which will be a perfect, I would say, integration of technology, business, thinking, insights, everything that will be the part of that. So if you see this particular thing, metaverse, then it helps users to fully utilize the virtual space to interact with one another. So in other words, a new society, a new marketplace, or a new social marketplace, or with whatever term we like, and where perhaps they work the same way as was possibly we don't do. Like for instance, we have only one life, but on this meta, we could have several lives. We could have several lives enjoyed at the same time. So those kind of advantages should be seen by marketers as opportunity rather than something to regret about, rather something to lament or something to miss. In addition, we also see that this virtual reality and augmented reality technologies that we have, they create absolutely amazing sensory elements to make this experience more enjoyable for the user. So even we could be away from any of those sensory elements that we have in reality, whether it is poor weather or poor climate or fog or any of those things that we are not very comfortable about, or we have breathing problems. All those kind of things are not there in this particular world. It is a perfect little world in which people would like to live a little bit more.
Sorry to interrupt you,
Sure.
Dr. Mohan.
Sure.
Could you please glance with the other slide? We are paucity of time. We have
only
to
this slide. Will that be okay?
Please,
Only
yes.
this slide.
Thank you so much.
Now, so there are these 8 elements of metaverse, and each element has got a wonderful research mind. We really need to research it further in terms of our hypothesis, in terms of our assumptions, in terms of our frameworks like Web 3.0, blockchain protocol, NFTs, games, cryptocurrency, augmented, virtual reality, mixed reality. Just to say this games a little bit more, one of the things for which IGMA, Indo-Gulf Management Association, and I are getting some traction is the way we have reinvented the way of teaching in the class, the way of training, and which is through the simulations. And so we are using a variety of simulations in order to create the kind of learning that people are. It is almost like pilots used to receive a simulated environment to learn how to fly. Here we are also giving almost similar thing, that how to take decisions in the business, how to take care of your decisions, their consequences, all that. I think each and every area is a fertile area for further research, and I do hope that your researchers and future researchers and other conferences, they will also look into it as a way forward. This is where I would like to thank Amity University, Amity Universities, because it is a network of universities, global network of universities, amazing organizers, everyone who has done so beautiful work in order to bring so many things. And I'm personally grateful to Dr. Gurinder Singh. And as I said, very, very feeling lucky that I'm in the same frame today as with legendary Dr. Ashok Chauhan. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Dr. Mohan. Thank you very much for bringing the metaverse here with us. Ladies and gentlemen, now the time has come to invite our founder president, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, sir, a visionary leader, a great father figure, and an institution of institution himself, a one who knows how technology is blending with the modern human relationships. And before further ado, let us listen to our founder president today and take his blessings on this auspicious day. Over to you, founder sir.
Professor Dr. Gurinder Singh, all those who are listening, after any big seminar, workshop, or conference, people speak and tell many lectures were very good. Or they said most of the deliberations were very good. But today I would say, Dr. Gurinder Singh, my compliment to you and all who are instrumental in inviting. All lectures were excellent, marvelous learning. in very few conferences, you can say all lectures. Therefore, I'm so proud and so pleased to listen them. It was really a learning. Whoever spoke in between, I was able to partly listen them, and everything is being recorded. So, Dr. Gurinder Singh, I think we should make a small booklet, pocket booklet with the essential sentences of each speaker, and we'll give to thousands of students, because this is a learning. We don't need any TED speaker. We don't need that my student must read how to become a leader or leaders. These lectures, when you hear documents, everything was there. So I would say we are proud that in the beginning I heard Jaishankar ji, then Mohanlal Agarwal ji we heard, then Richard Ricky we heard, Raghavan Sitaraman we heard, Stephen Rising we heard, and also now Mohanlal Agarwal ji heard. I think every lecture was so valuable, and joining this conference, I was giving the messages to my person. About 45% joined. I was checking, have you joined or not? They said, yes, we are another meeting. I told, leave it and run to the program of Dr. Gurinder Singh. 45% run from my SLT war room. Everybody is sitting there. Shifali, tell them, this is the war room. When I say they should jump like a warrior. So Gurinder, the compliment goes to you, that you have really opened the mind of people. Mohanlal ji told about metaverse, and Ricky ji told about the leadership qualities. Every lecture had something to say. So I would say that pocket book will be very important, so that we can then talk in small groups. What did you learn? What did you grasp for that? All those who are listening, I must say my Zanoon is only one. My obsession is only one. And those who understand Hindi, I say my pagalpan is only one. That each one of my students, Abhay Bansal ji, shows to the whole world that we can change the world. We have the capacity, capability, self-confidence. And we are looking at it. Recently, Dr. Gurinder Singh, there was a MET International Model United Nations. And 12 students were sent by Dr. Mita Chauhanji from schools, 4 from Chauhan family, and they just came. I received them back, and the meeting with His Excellency, the Commissioner, Dorai Swami, was managed, and I was so glad to listen. He told, yes, one of my family members was long associated with MET Saket. Then there was some other Consular General. He told, yes, I have studied in Dubai campus. So, Abhay Bansal, whole world, I'm surprised in one or the other way. When I took my group to Singapore, then we went to a big club, and there were about thousands of people, and the head of the club was one of my alumni. So I think this is a very good revelation that everywhere our students are spread with the culture, with the sanskars, with the values, what is built to human values. So I think this is the weapon. Many people are teaching. There are so many named institutions. But one day, Gurinder came to me, sir, Harvard wants to come to us for 1 week and learn our human values, our qualities. What should I say? I told Gurinder, why you are afraid? He told, sir, they will become more competitive. I told, they will come, learn, in 1 week they will forget. Amolji, sorry if you are listening. Amol is a Harvard alumni. That way, whatever we are learning, nowhere in the world. My grandfather was a freedom fighter, father was an educationist. So you can teach only if you have practiced yourself. And what my old Gurinder Singh is now more than 23 years with me. Abhay Bansal is making the revolutionary work to send 10,000 students in 5 years. So my dear students, I was telling in convocation, if I would have not gone abroad, I might be associate professor, begging to vice chancellor, Dr. Shukla, make me professor, wo kahenge abhi 12 saal nahi hue, it's still 12 years not done. So now, and I must tell to all my students, when I came back in 1994, back from West Germany after 28 years, many people told, what you're doing, you can be the biggest, richest person in the country. Because they have seen that I was the biggest, richest entrepreneur in the whole Europe and the biggest investor in the East Germany during unification. I told you are right, but you are right. But even if I'm a multi-billionaire person, what do you think if I make millions of person multi-billionaire? He told you are right. He laughed, he told, I did not think to that extent. So what I'm doing, I am making thousands and thousands of people, those who will be millionaire, billionaire, and they can achieve anything and everything they like, what we are teaching. To all my listeners, my faculty member, Marut and Gaurav, and everybody who is here sitting, these are my warriors for the international affairs. All my faculty members, our Chakravarti ji is there, Real Mirror Alok Bhatnagar is there, Dr. Neeraj Sharma, all I told you, see that you leave everything and run to the lecture. So Gurinder, my compliment to you. And I think now what we do, we should see that this value propagate further. Not that after this lecture we say we should make it compulsion for people to remember it and to practice it. That will be your success, that will be everyone's success, and also success from my great people. Dr. Vajayat Hussain must be listening. He is an unassuming person, unbelievable leader, and the right hand of Atulji, Chancellor. The biggest compliment I say, the Hanuman of Rama. And he's a Hanuman, everything he can achieve, whatever he likes, not only Dubai, but also in all Middle East countries. Vijayat, my blessing, my appreciation. Whenever I meet you, it gives me a new inspiration and new motivation. Also, I welcome Dr. Saif, our great leader from Dubai campus. Also, I welcome our Faisal Malikji and also Dr. Anand. I don't know if my people listening over here, you know that our Amity University Dubai is the best private university noted by the government of Emirates. Among the private universities, the Amity University is the best private university. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Maybe we are the not the youngest, but among youngest. But having this status, I think a lot of credit goes to our Chancellor, Dr. Atul Chauhan, unbelievable visionary leader. And now he is spreading all over the world. You should know, I came to know that there are a lot of scientists, technocrats, after retirement or during the service are settled in Bangalore or settled in Hyderabad. So then we decided that in 2023, both the universities should be functional. And our aim to have university in every state. Why I'm telling it? That all these faculty members, students, they cannot get anywhere in the world double profit. They should earn money for the family, for them, but also they are earning, in Hindi word is punya. There are two accounts, one on earth and one on heaven. So everybody who is associated with me having both earnings which nobody can have. So Gurinder, I think I will not take much time. My compliment to all those who are listening. A lot of good people are listening, students are listening, research scholars are listening, and I think they will agree with me. There was a lot of learning, there was a lot of motivation, a lot of value addition in that. So, Vajayat, I think I will see now you will come, because I could not see face to face. And also Malikji, I will see Fazal Malik. Thank you very much to everybody. Welcome everybody, and you are all fortunate to be there today. Fortunate. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Founder President.
Thank you, Founder President, sir, for your great motivation. And what a brilliant term you have used, heaven and earth. Automation can bring knowledge, but this knowledge comes with experience, that the power to run in the earth and have a spirituality to survive in heaven. What a wonderful thought. Thank you so much, Founder President, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, now the time has come for conferring of certificate for the best 4 research papers. There were the sessions were divided into various parts and categories. The first session, the first paper presentation award confers to authors Samir Pandey and Dr. Ravinder Kaur. The title of the paper was Heart Failure Prediction Using Machine Learning and Algorithm. So this is backed by the eminent authors Samir Pandey and Dr. Ravinder Kaur. In the second technical session, the best paper is conferred by Mahmood Alam, Muhammad Sahid, and Sahil Mustab for the paper titled Security-Oriented Deadline Aware Workflow Allocation Strategy for Infrastructure as a Service Clouds. Congratulations to the second session authors. Session 3, the title of the paper, Interconnected Microgrid IoT-Based Monitoring and Control Core Architecture, is backed by Shridan Shok, Harkovi Jerakovic, Leo Marcis, and Misklav Balkovic. Congratulations to the awardees. Session 4, the paper title, Prediction, the Correlation and Colloquial Lymphomia Using Convocational Neutral Network Approach, is backed by Mr. Manu and T. Popangodi. Congratulations to all the researchers for the brilliant contribution in this third conference, and such a synergy of mind and technology was incubated by each one of you. Congratulations. Other winners, your papers were brilliant, and congratulations to all the participants who have participated with heart, synergy, incubating mind and research. Research is finding new paradigms. So do not get discouraged. Your papers equally are contributed, as founder president has said, that every paper is contributing to a beautiful meaning outcome. So we will definitely come with a series in times to come. Thank you, everybody. So over to you, Marut, now.
Thank you very much, Kavita ma'am. I think it's now time for felicitation of our esteemed guests. There have been very enlightening sessions this afternoon. So it is my proud privilege to invite Founder President, Sir, Group Vice Chancellor, Sir, Dr. Fazal, to please felicitate our keynotes and guest speakers. With your permission, sir.
Okay. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Amity is proud to confer upon Dr. Stephen Resay Amity Global Academic Excellence Award for his meaningful contribution to the IEEE 2022. Amity is also proud to confer upon Dr. Raghavan Sitaraman, former CEO, Doha Bank, Amity Leadership Excellence Award. We congratulate you, sir. Amity is also proud to confer upon Dr. Mohan Lal Agarwal, President, Indo-Gulf Management Association, the Amity Global Excellence Award for Academics. We heartily congratulate all the winners of these awards. And with this, we come to the last part of the conference, the vote of thanks. And for this, I would love to request Dr. Abhay Bansal, sir, to please take over. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Marut. First of all, thank you very much to Honorable Founder President for his time, for his blessing. Sir, it's your vision. These conferences are being organized all over the world under the leadership of our Group Vice Chancellor, under the blessings of Honorable Chancellor. I'm really thankful to you, sir. You always want international exposure to be given to all these students. And in this conference also, sir, students from Amity Noida, they are in Dubai, and they are so happy, satisfied with world-class infrastructure which is in Dubai. So it is really a true outcome we have achieved by sending our students, presenting their paper. And thank you, Group Vice Chancellor, for all such mentorship and guidance to make such thing possible. And students are very happy. And thank you to Dr. Wajad and Dr. Malik for providing all the hospitality for them. I'm really happy. And thanks to Mr. PR Jayashankar for his valuable guidance. Dear sir, we look forward to your mentorship and guidance, because we always say these conferences, as per the vision of Honorable Founder President, they are synergy of brain. It is the beginning of our relationship, and I'm sure together with you, we will change the world. Thank you, sir, for all your blessing and guidance. I'm thankful to Dr. Raghavan, former CEO, Doha Bank. Sir, thank you very much. All advice which you have given to have economy of 5 trillion by 2027, as per our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, $5 trillion will be achieved by 2025. Thank you, sir, all your advice. Thank you to Dr. Stephen, who is Chief Academic Zone Officer. Thank you, sir. And you'll be happy to know Amity University is also accredited by IIT UK. We have followed all the policies which you laid down in your curriculum. Thank you very much for your kind presence. I'm thankful to Dr. Mohanlal Agarwal, President, Indo Golf Management Association. Sir, thank you to be part. And you rightly mentioned on metaverse. And in our curriculum, we have introduced metaverse, and we are coming up with Center of Excellence on Metaverse. As per the vision of Honorable Founder President and Honorable Chancellor, everything which we introduce, we always introduce to ensure that each one of our students should get more than they dream and desire. And for that, we included everything in our curriculum so that our students are future ready, industry ready. And thank you to Mr. Richard, who has given a lot of advice. Advice given that failure is a step of a success, as mentioned by Honorable Founder President. Each word he spoke is really a mantra for success, and it matches with mantra which our Honorable Founder President always said to all the faculty, all the students, Bhag. Sir, which you always say, it is more or less on the same line. Bhag, where he always focus on a behavioral science. We have introduced behavioral science in our curriculum so that each Amitian to be successful. H is for hard work, because there is no replacement for hard work. Ambition is very important. Until unless we dream big, we cannot achieve big, as mentioned by Richard also. Aptitude is very important. We all have to work with positive attitude. And if we have positive attitude, nothing is impossible. And that is what has been taught by our Honorable Founder President. He has given us target for next 10 years. We have to open 50 new global campuses, having 17 campuses now. Honorable Founder President, even yesterday we were meeting to world top university Monash, and they said what you have achieved, it is something case study, that how you could grow so fast in a such smaller duration. Sir, it's your blessing and leadership of Honorable Chancellor we are achieving, and we fulfill your target which you have given. And at last we say, God, if nothing works, I'm sure with blessing of God we can achieve that. Thank you, Mr. Richard. What you said, everything has been noted, and I'm sure we will take your mentorship and guidance. And I have also mentioned a lot of our students are in KPMG and they are doing very good. And we look forward to have many more association with you. Thank you, Dr. Wajad, CEO Middle East, for all your hospitality. And I'm sure such conference which you have hosted at Dubai under leadership of our Group Vice Chancellor, it can be a very good gateway and pathway by which I could see our students from India going to Dubai, exploring Middle East. It's a very good platform, and I'm sure together we will change the world as per the vision of Honorable Founder President. Thank you, Professor Faisal Malik, for all the hospitalities, and Professor Anand. And thank you to our Group Vice Chancellor, Dr. Gurinder Singh, which I could see on Saturday, Sunday, every day he's talking that how we can make this conference the best conference in Middle East. So thank you very much for all your mentorship and guidance, Dr. Gurinder Singh, to make it word number one. And I could remember even Honorable Chancellor is also so worried that this conference which we are organizing at our world-class Dubai campus has to be among the best, sir. Honorable Chancellor, thank you very much for all your mentorship guidance through which we could enable this. I'm thankful because such kind of activities take a lot of day and night. I'm thankful to all the reviewers from all over the world, because we have got 148 papers, 43 has been selected. Thanks for all your help for reviewing rigorously these papers and getting selected. Congratulations for starting a very important center, climate change and green technology management. I am sure this will be a biggest revolution which we are looking for. Honorable Founder President, as per your vision, you always want Amitian to be the best in the world. Through your international exposure, our students are always on the top. You name any company, whether it is Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Goldman Sachs, they are on the leadership position and they are showing to the whole world they are the best. It is because of your mission, your vision for internationalization which you have given. Thank you very much to all the speakers. As Founder President always say, it's a beginning of our friendship. It is synergy of a brain. And we look forward to have your continuous participation so that together we can change the world as per the vision of our Honorable Founder, President and Chancellor. We look forward to work with you so that we can make world best place to live. Thank you very much to all. I have left few names, please excuse. Thank you them also for all their arrangements, and we look forward such activities in future also. We have organized one conference in US campus. It was amazing. Students shown their caliber in the conference. It has been organized in London, Tashkent, and I'm sure with your blessing, more will be done. And Group Vice Chancellor, sir, is always heading those initiatives. Will make the difference of student learning experience to make them best in the world, sir. Thank you, Honorable Founder President, for your time and blessings. Thank you, and we will ensure that MIT University will be among the best university in the world, because what we are giving, other cannot think. What we are doing something which nobody can imagine, sir. It's your blessing and leadership of Honorable Chancellor.
Thank you, Abhay. One thing, this is the commitment of our worthy Chancellor that together we can change the world. Yes, let this commitment be with him only, because I have my other commitment, but he was the first to tell together we can change the world. So I think this is always his commitment, and very right. We can, what he says, very right. We will together change the world, because India, we have already changed. We are changing. India will be becoming superpower. Now, our Chancellor thinks beyond that. You know, is it not a big thing that we have reached to the in economic power number 5, leaving other countries? And as rightly told, in 2025 or 27, we'll be a 5 billion economy. So I think I always say together with the Western brain and our Eastern brain, we can do miracle and wonders together with them. All those who are sitting over here, what I heard, so together with them, we can make not only India global superpower, but we can change the world. Thank you very much for all speakers. Gurinder, I have no words to appreciate you. You are a miracle man. Yes. You are a miracle man. And at the end, I'll also appreciate my worthy Vice Chancellor, who last on 10th, 11th, and 12th gave degree to 17,500 students. And all appreciated. It was so meticulous. It was so timely. It was so perfect that the lot of people are ringing me, Doctor, how do you do it? I told my people do it, but I'm getting a lot of appreciation, Dr. Gurinder Singh and all these things. How do you do it? I told, you come and see, we do it. We have to do it. We have to change the world. We have to make India a global superpower, and my people will make it. My people will make it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, respected Founder President, sir. And thank you, Dr. Abhay Bansal, for vote of thanks. As our founder says that with the visionary thoughts he has and his blessings, and the Chancellor says that together we can change the world. I think togetherness is beginning. I will also like to acknowledge some of the top rated researchers and the organizing team, especially team of researchers consisting of Dr. Loveleen Kaur. And since our respected founder is there, all of you are worthy, you are there. Please take his blessings. Dr. Loveleen Kaur, Dr. Vinita Sharma, Dr. Mohammad Naved, Dr. Shweta Nanda, well done, Dr. Varnika Agarwal, good work. Dr. Priyanka Malik, Dr. Aditya Kumar Gupta, Master of Ceremony, Mr. Marut Bush, Dr. Kavita Thaplyal, Organizing Coordinator, of course, Dr. Bansal, Dr. Naina Chaudhary. Our special thanks to Wajhat Ji, Faisal Malik, Dr. Anand Kumar, Anupma Rajesh, and coordination and back-end work excellently by my office, Ms. Vinay Pillai, Ms. Geeta, Ms. Soji, and media and publicity by Pratiman Unyalji, and the office of Group Vice Chancellor, which worked day and night, not looking at watch, coming on all Sundays and working so hard. My congratulations to all of you. Lucky that
you're clapping for all. Great, great.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, all the stalwarts.
Dr. Gurinder, I think he's
Dr. Meghna. Yeah.
Dr. Naina Chaudhary is, I think, heading the Tashkent campus at the moment. Am I right?
She's in Tashkent campus, but initially she worked for this campus.
Correct. Very right. I keep a track on each one of my people. I told that in the Noida campus, I can name 2,500 people just from their voice even. So this is what I was told. You should have a hearty relationship. And I must tell to all, a few days back, I had my birthday. Generally, people say birthday should be relaxing, should be easy, but it was for me a very stressful birthday, very stressful birthday. I was making a plan for another 25 years. In 2047, we will complete 100 years of independence. And I want to celebrate with all of you, where we save so many trillion, then we'll have perhaps 30 trillion economy. So very stressful because I planned meticulously 25 years mein kya karna together with you people, and then we'll celebrate. So it is not easy to plan for 25 years, but at the end, when you have a race, one runs faster with more precise. So now another 25 years, we'll do further wonders and further miracle. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Founder President, sir, and thank you to all the stalwarts. Thank you to the IT team for the brilliant support that you have provided. With this, we close this session here. Once again, with a big smile, as an Amitian, proud Amitian, to resume back with power energy for the next session to come. Thank you, everybody.